Welcome back. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. Alright, I died at 1 hour and 2 minutes, and I started. $44 minutes. That was 17 minutes. That was 17 minutes of pure agony. From the top. I don't know what's more difficult. I don't know if it's this or Contra 3 Super NES on hard mode. I seem to be pretty equally terrible at both things. Barrier, let's go. This is far and away the furthest I've been in this level without losing a life. Like, no competition. If this game has a hard mode, I may have to swear off Contra games forever. that may that may be something I can't recover from. That was a perfect stage 1 though. I'm gonna take this new password down. 2XV C1G NZW J15 3YT 3G1. I think that's the first time I've earned an extra life in this game. That guy can shoot at me from off the screen, but my bullets can't reach him. Rip the Deathless Run. This is unacceptable. There's not enough room to do anything. This is the Castlevania: The Adventure of the Contra series. That's awesome. I'm so glad that happened. I'm never gonna make it to this boss with more than a single life, so I'm never gonna be able to experiment. So I'm just gonna have to do that laying in the corner thing that we just learned doesn't work, but I don't have any other ideas, and I don't have any lives to risk experimentation. Why is everything about this so terrible? This should be okay. It's just a Game Boy Advance version of, like, of a mostly, you know, pretty good game. There's no reason for it to be so bad. One of your cats is either happy or sad with the performance. Well, for speaking about my performance, the only reaction is sadness. The only one that makes any sense. Why was he so easy that time all of a sudden? Why'd he go from being an impossible nightmare with infinite health to being super easy? Nothing in the world makes sense. I should be celebrating that, but I'm just... all of my emotions have been crushed. That's a shame. The fire is really the weapon you want to have for this stage, and I immediately wasted it. Those enemies, there are usually so many more of them. I guess, you know, because it's the Game Boy Advance, they wanted to be less intense, so they, like, on the processor or whatever, so they toned them back. But there's usually so many more of those guys. Contra makes no sense. I really appreciate that as soon as that mini-boss died, he scooped me off and threw me into the trash. There's really, like, basically nothing that I could, There's really, like, basically nothing that I could do about that situation, either. Ugh. This game is sickening. Because there's no... Because the top and bottom of the screen are cut off. There's no space below him to, like, spin all the way around him. You just get dumped off screen and die immediately. Robot wanted to take you down with it. Have you ever played the original Contra on its hardest dip switch setting? I can't say that I have, Tusk. I've only played the only arcade version of Contra I've played is the port on the Switch. In the Anniversary Collection. I've never played an actual Contra machine. And probably never will. I don't really like arcade machines. I imagine it's a real agonizing nightmare, though. I imagine it's a horrifying experience. The one on the Switch, the arcade version on the Switch is really rough. It has terrible performance. Round table near me had all of its arcade cabinets set to the hardest levels. Brutal is all I can say. I believe you. Oh, thank goodness. They took out... There's supposed to be some missiles that come up from the bottom. They actually took those out. They recognized that with the screen cut off, you didn't have enough space to deal with them. But they didn't recognize you don't have enough space to not be immediately dumped into the trash by that boss, so... Also, they took away this guy's missiles. All the missiles are gone. This is Contra No Missiles Edition. This is awful. Everything about this is awful. This is slow and feels terrible. Hey, Game and Fit, good to see you. I feel like it's been a little while. If I'm not mistaken. Hope you are well. Know the difference cause I would go rollerblading at the rink and leave to catch the all-you-can-eat pizza deal at Round Table. Arcade cabs are not the same. I mean, the point of arcade games is to be unfair nightmares, right? So, might as well. If you're gonna play an arcade cabinet, might as well have it at maximum difficulty. Truth is, my condition has gotten worse. I'm sorry to hear that, Game and Fit. Can't play games. Can't even do word search in a book. Focusing on exercising. Try playing Starfield August 31st. Probably not going to see me much until then. Best to focus on movies and shows rather than games right now. I really hope you're able to get some help that works for you, Game and Fit. Oh, cool. I'm dead. There was no escape from that situation. That was my final game over, too. I don't want to have to do any of this stuff again. It's not all bad, though. Still having fun over here. Just gonna be tough and walk it off. Did I lose the extra weight I need to lose? For GBA, this is not too bad, even with the lack of missiles. Have you played this one, Game and Fit? Because I think it may be worse than it looks. I'm having a rough time with it. Never owned a GBA. I would say, I would definitely recommend to go with the Super Nintendo version. It's not the most awful game ever made or anything like that. It's just, it's super frustrating though. Having your top and bottom cut down, you know, it's just rough. This game was made for a larger screen. No, we should thank the tank for aiming past us and not dropping bombs directly on our heads. Very considerate. I just want to scream. I'd like to be more positive about this game. You know, it's very faithful to the source material. It's just, oh. It's sluggish and too narrow. Oh no, I thought it was game over. Now it is. Skating, or Tusk recommends skating or rollerblading because it's like running but less stress on your knees and helps you with balance. We have another regular chatter who is a very avid skater. I've always been a bit more of a bicycle fan myself. I'm not so comfortable on skates. Hey, Game and Fit, thank you for the gift sub. Very much appreciated. Tusk, take a key for coming in. That's very kind of you, Game and Fit, and I certainly appreciate the support. Thank you. It's a very rare time when I can actually afford to do this. I'd certainly appreciate it. Those meatballs are... a catastrophe. Skating's really fun, Frownie. I've been skating a couple times. I've never used inline skates. I've always used the like two on a side type of skates. But I'm just not confident on them, not comfortable on them. I've been skating, and I've had, you know, a decent amount of fun, you know, trying it out, but it's been a pretty rare thing, and I haven't really done it since childhood. I tried ice skating once. Huge mistake. My ankles aren't strong enough to support me on ice skates. I don't understand. Maybe they do and I've just never seen them. But I don't understand why ice skates only have one blade per foot. I don't know why they're not more like old school roller skates and have two blades under each foot, so you wouldn't have to like destroy your ankles to stand on them. Probably it'd be harder to move on them or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's a good reason, but I can't do it. I got a pair of ice skates on, and my friend dragged me out onto the ice, and I made it around the rink one time. With my friend carrying me and me cursing at him the whole way. My dad was good at skates. He could turn around and go backward and everything. I'll never do that. Hey, Zeldavania, thank you for the hydrate. My nieces always think I'm just some square old man, Tusk says. 4 or 5 have found out I can figure 8, making their friends look silly. Zeldavania, nice name, Game and Fit says. It is a good one. A mashup of tremendous classics. I saw someone named Contravania one time, and I thought, oh, I like that screen name. Well, that was pretty cool. Until I played this and started hating Contra games. Now I think that name is disgusting. So I don't remember, but when you're hanging from one arm in this, whenever you fire, you get locked in place. You can't move and shoot at the same time, and I don't remember if Contra 3 and or Hardcore are like that. I don't know if you can fire while moving. You probably can't, but I just don't recall. It's silly that you can't, because there's a button for locking yourself in place, and figure if you wanted to stop, you would just use that, but so this guy gonna be easy or impossible this time? It's like BMXing. My niece asked why my bike looked so small. She found out her uncle could grind a bench and 360 out of it. My older brother was like, strap in, kid. He nearly killed himself learning this stuff. Even if it says I'm off for now, I got a lot of work to do. My new insurance too, so hopefully doctor stuff will be hunky-dory. Wish me luck, guys. I'll see you in a while. Best of luck, Game and Fit. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you again for the gift sub. And yeah, hopefully that new medical stuff is going to work out for you. We want you doing better. We want you back in top shape. Sounds dumb because I love video games, but I did almost every sport I could. Boxing and jiu-jitsu stuck with me, though. I don't think that sounds dumb. I don't think a love of sports and a love of video games have to be mutually exclusive. You know, I'm not much into sports, but Frownie, you could be a boxer. I've seen your body proportions and hand size. Tusk, I'm beginning to be very worried about how many adult beverages you've had. Boxing is probably the sport that I have. Boxing, it is funny that you say that in a way, though, because boxing is the sport that, like, I've never done it, but it's the sport that, like, to, like, watch or follow. Like, I've never really been been an active follower of any sport, but boxing is the closest I've ever been to watching a sport regularly. When I was young, my parents used to watch a lot of boxing, and I would actually watch it with them. And I enjoyed that. I watched a YouTube video the other day about George Foreman coming out of retirement and getting the like heavyweight title at like in his like mid-40s. That was wild. All my boxing knowledge is very surface level, very surface level. I think it's interesting, but I would be very not enthusiastic about receiving punches. Taurus tendencies welcome in. Nice, I'm a huge boxing fan as well. Hey, is that a Little Mac emote? Nice. George Foreman, he was a truck. I think probably the closest I'm gonna ever get to stepping in the ring is maybe when I eventually play Punch-Out. Very nice, very nice. This fight is going to be... I feel like this fight's going to be very annoying with the squishedness of things. Those lasers are a menace. Thank goodness, we see a new level! I'm so bad at Punch-Out, but, Super Punch-Out is a different story. Elmac is such a nice guy, I love him, Tusk says. I've enjoyed when we've been able to drop it on his streams. I don't get to catch him very often. I've played a bit of Super Punch-Out. My cousin had that one when we were kids. We were never very good at it. We could make it through the first, like... I think we could make it up to the kickboxing guy. When we played it as kids. I don't know if we made it past him. Like, we might have a time or two, but it wasn't very common when we'd play it. We'd make it up to about him, and then that's about as far as we could get. Such a nice guy. Love all of his puppies, too, Taurus says. Contra is a very difficult game, very frustrating to play because it's so unforgiving with the lives and continues, but with co-op, this Contra is a blast. Well, this one is so I'm pretty familiar with the earliest Contra games. I love 8-bit Contra. Contra and Super C, I love. Like top very near the top of my favorites list. Top 10, top 5 games easily. Very good. 16-bit Contras, I don't love. They're good, but I don't love them the same way I love 8-bit Contras. And this one here on the GBA is rough. It's tough, like, because it's tough because like it's a really faithful game, a really faithful recreation of a couple games that were made for bigger screens. So I don't know. I'm having a hard time with it, but I'm sticking with it. We're gonna still try it. We're gonna try and beat it. I'm not gonna let it discourage me, but I'm not loving this like I hoped I would. The music is always so epic, though. Great for dying, because that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Better than Taz? Well, yeah, I mean, it's better. I mean, it's better than trash. Mostly. I'm not great at Contra 3. I'm okay at Contra 3. I've beaten it a handful of times. Contra Hardcore, I've beaten every path in the game once. And I've beaten it at least once as every character. So, I haven't done every path, every character. I'd like to. That's a lot of work, though, because there's a lot of endings. And there's 4 characters. I like Hardcore more than I like Contra 3. This is a nightmare. Better than trash as my life go. Taz was fun. Which Taz are we talking about, Taurus? I've played a lot of Taz games. What kind of games do you like? Do you need co-op for this? I like Taz on the SNES. Taz on the SNES is an interesting game. Taz on SNES is interesting. It's frustrating. This is unmanageable. I kind of like where they're going with it, but and it's and it's kind of fun for the first few stages, but once you get like, I don't know, 5 or 6 stages in, it becomes really just enemy spam everywhere. It's hard to move. It's a game that's playable, but I found it not to be quite beatable. The Game Boy Taz games are all right. They're they're like just sort of mediocre, subpar platformers. The Genesis ones are a little better. They're probably the best Taz games. And Tasmanian Devil Munching Madness on the Game Boy Color is a nightmare. That game is horrific. Oh, it was Itty that said better than trash is my life goal. I misread who said that. What kind of games do you like? I like platformer games. I like stuff like this. I like Contra. I like Castlevania. I like Mario games. I like platformers and adventure games. You know, your Zeldas, Kirby, Wario Land, that kind of stuff. I love Castlevania 64. I hate the vehicles. The controls are bad, but it's Taz who's controlling Taz. Real question is, when do we retry Survival Kids? We'll definitely redo Survival Kids, Tusk. I gotta get the rest of the endings. I like that game. I like Survival Kids quite a bit. I think we got 2 or 3 of the endings. I think there's 8 endings. I think we got 3. So I've got a lot more work to do with that game. I got really close to getting what I think is the best ending. Like, I mean, I don't know what the endings are, but I had to work so hard for it. I got really close to an ending that I had to work so hard for, and I lost it at the last second. This is unplayable. That's so much easier on the Super NES. Oh, and as for co-op, I almost never play anything multiplayer, co-op or versus. I'm really just a single player guy, pretty much through and through. I like beat 'em ups. Adventure games are cool. Love Link to the Past. Ooh, Link to the Past. I love Link to the Past. Might be my favorite 2D Zelda. It's hard to pick. I really love Link's Awakening. But is it better than A Link to the Past? I don't think it is. There are things about it that are better. There are parts of it that are way better. But the package as a whole, if Link's Awakening had been made as a Super Nintendo game, it probably could have been better than A Link to the Past. I've enjoyed the stream, but I've got to go. Have a great one, Frownie. Thank you, Doe. Thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure to be able to enjoy your company, my friend. I hope that you are well until I get to see you again. It's getting kind of late. I think we'll go another round. Probably don't want to go too much longer with this game. I think we'll give it one more try, though. So this game is a lot harder and taking a lot longer than I thought it would. We'll probably play this again on Friday. My plan for the rest of the week, tomorrow and Thursday is Tears of the Kingdom. Wednesday is going to be Echo the Dolphin and Wario Land 3. And Friday will be Echo the Dolphin and more of this game, I think. When's the next stream? Next stream should be tomorrow. Next stream will be Tuesday night, around 11 p.m. Central Time. That's Tears of the Kingdom. Wario will be in the second part of Wednesday night stream, so it'll be like Thursday morning Central, U.S. Central Time. It'll be like Thursday morning at 2 or 3 a.m. maybe. It's going to be the Wednesday night stream, but we're going to play Echo first, so... You know, Echo will start around 11 p.m. Wednesday night, and then Wario will happen a couple hours into the stream, so it'll technically be the next morning, but still, I think of it as Wednesday night. So that's the plan. As long as nothing changes, you know, the schedule's always a little bit in question because I can't always control everything in my life, but I do a pretty good job of mostly sticking to it. So that's the plan. Buddy challenged me to beat the original R-Type. R-Type is unbeatable, not Super R-Type. Have you played the original R-Type, Frownie? I've played R-Type on the Game Boy Tusk. We did it just a couple weeks ago. I beat Loop 1. It looks like R-Type's a 2-loop game, though. I beat 1 loop of Game Boy R-Type. I'm gonna have to go back and do a proper 2-loop clear at some point. It's pretty tough. Excellent. For the Wario timing, I hope he can be there. Hope he can be there, Doe. Wario's one of those things. I know it's going to take several nights, so. We'll probably be enjoying that one for a while. I'm looking forward to it. I've really liked the Wario games I've played so far. Echo is so cute. Echo is a monstrous game. It's so janky. Echo looks really great visually for most of the game, and most of the music is really good. It lures you in. It lures you in with some really good aesthetics. And then it crushes you with just the jankiest gameplay. Very, but still cute. No, you can't get an original hardware for the 1987 R-Type, but it stomped me into the dirt. Yeah, I would only be able to play a port. R-Type is kind of a strange game, too. Just the whole mechanic with the little thing that comes off the front of your ship and you move it around. Very weird. I bought another R-Type recently. I don't remember if I bought Super R-Type or R-Type 3. I think I got Super R-Type. But it'll probably be a long while before we get around to playing it. There's too many games. There's too many games to play, and they all take so long. I want to play through everything, but where am I ever going to get the time? SNES game cartridge artists are undefeated. Suckering all those kids into renting their jank games every weekend. Really doesn't surprise me if it's 3 or Super. The original deserves to be burned. That's pretty harsh. The Game Boy R-Type I mostly found just to be kind of clunky. I feel like I had a rough time with it, but I don't really think because it was terrible. It's just a lot of clunk. I guess a reasonable person would say the same thing about this game. That, you know, it's not really terrible, it's just clunky. But I am not reasonable, so I will cry about how this is the worst thing ever made. An original sends 5 million enemies to you on level 4. I disagree. I disagree! Chasing me down like that. like how you can just stand there and his missiles can't get to you. Easy, boss. Easy game. I've never had any trouble with this game. I really wish that the fire was just a little stronger and I could have killed that guy instead of running into him. I knew he was there. I was just confident. I was falsely confident that I could take him out before I contacted him. No! Have I replaced the battery in Resident Evil 2 yet? I haven't, Tusk. It's been so late now, maybe we'll just do that in October. I just haven't thought about it. I really do want to play that again. You know, you just get distracted. I start playing all these other things, and it's like... just don't think about it. I really would like to complete a playthrough of it, though, and I'd like to do... I'd like to do all the Resident Evils, like, up until 4. Make it a stream. I don't know how to open an old cart. You gotta have a special screwdriver. You can get them on, like, Amazon, though, for, you know, pretty cheap. They've got a weird, like, star head screw. But they're not, like, you know, they're not really complicated in the inside. You know, you should be, because they're an electronic component, so you should be careful handling them, of course, but... I'm pretty sure you have to do some soldering to replace the battery. But, you know, soldering isn't really that hard. It's just, you know, just go slow, pay attention. think though, like on the inside of a N64 cart, I'm pretty sure it's just one board, and there's like a metal like shielding plate, and really that's it. The battery's just in a little thing that's soldered onto the board. Yuck. Double yuck. I'm a chemical engineer. I have a bachelor's in medical engineering. But I never learned to solder. That's for plumbing techs? Soldering's not bad. You can learn it from one YouTube video. No. No, I disagree with that. That should not have happened like that. I just feel like I'll mess up at the same time. There's no way to learn except by doing. Yeah, I mean, and I mean, don't believe me, I get it. Like, I'm always nervous. Like, I don't solder stuff very often. When I do, yeah, I'm always a little bit nervous, because you could mess something up if you're not careful, but... It's really no biggie. I don't really even understand fully what happened to me last time. I guess the door coming down crunched me? Nice. One cycle. Let's go. That guy's a loser. In the middle of playing Popful Mail, my buddy had to replace some RAM battery in a Sega system. It was a terrifying experience. Oh, see, that's the thing that's the thing that gets me is with the electronic works, and that's why soldering I don't really think is that big of a deal, because I'm just thinking about when you already know what the thing is, opening up an electronic component and figuring out what's wrong, the diagnostics part, I'm useless at. But if I know what's wrong already, and I know which I have the replacement part, I just gotta look for the thing that matches it and take the other one out and put the new one in. That's fine. I can handle that. But having electronics where something doesn't work and I gotta open it up and figure out what thing in it is not working, and even worse, why, I'm useless. A 1,000 times more knowledgeable than I am? I don't know about that. Thank you, but... I think you greatly overestimate me. We hit a new PB. I've never seen this part of this game before. It's going to be terrible because of the screen crunch. Why didn't they make anything smaller? Why didn't they take into account that the screen is crunched and everything needs to be a little smaller? Supposed to get past that thing. That's weird. That behaved differently than in the Super Nintendo game. Well, my friends, it's been a great night. We've gone for a long time. I think it's time to call it a night, though. I think I've made it as far in this game as I'm going to at the moment. So I think we'll wrap things up. Thank you very much for being here. Wow, I've had a lot of company tonight, and I really appreciate that, my friends. Thank you, so many of you, for coming in and keeping us company. I hope you've had a wonderful time. I hope I'm going to get to see you again very soon, and be well in the meantime. I will see who's live. Maybe we'll raid someone. We usually do. Got a lot of choices. Well, I usually don't take recommendations, but we'll take a quick look. All right, Tusk. I think we can head this way. It's a difficult thing. I don't usually like going somewhere based on a recommendation from the chat. Not because I don't trust people, but because if there is a reason I don't want to raid a particular target that's suggested to me, then I don't like people taking it the wrong way, you know? So it's usually better to just have a policy of just not opening the floor for recommendations. Because there could be all kinds of completely benign reasons why I don't want to raid a particular stream or not raid one at a particular moment. But they're not always easy to explain. Yeah. But we can head well. We'll head this way. I'll take your recommendation this time. But I am going to put it out there. It's generally not something that I do. Yeah. So we're listening to Tusk's recommendation. Tusk says this streamer is a family-friendly sweetheart. This is all on Tusk. I don't know. Looks like Ab Absquatula. Absquatula is the name. It's the pronunciation's a little bit of a mystery to me. But we'll head in this direction, my friends. I should be back every night this week as long as nothing goes wrong on my end. That's the plan. I'll be as reliable as I can. Tomorrow night should be around 11 p.m. Central Time each night, though it could be a little earlier or a little later. But 11 p.m. Central general startup time. Tomorrow night and Thursday night, Tears of the Kingdom. One game each night, all night long. Big Tears of the Kingdom sessions. And then more Echo and Wario Land 3 on Wednesday. More Echo and Contra on Friday. That's what's coming up in the near future. Hopefully I'll get to see you for some of that. Be well until I get to see you again, my friends. We're all out of stuff to do for tonight. It is time for us to head out. Let's go on an adventure.